Hi everyone. A few things to address before I get into this video. The first one is that the audio quality should be much better because I've got myself a little microphone. I'm so mindful not to touch it because I don't want to mess up the audio quality at all. This is all very new to me. Second thing I want to address is the fact that I have dead roses behind me. I feel kind of cruel discarding roses like as soon as they die. It just feels, cruel. So I just like to keep them during this state, just for a little while longer. Eventually I'll get rid of them. All right, so in today's video, I'd like to talk about philosophical thoughts. Recently, I have been getting really into philosophy, been completely engrossed in it. And this isn't the first time that I've been interested in philosophy. I did study when I was 16 years old. I did a distance education course on philosophy because I didn't like any of the electives at my school, so I opted to do that, and it was fascinating and I loved it. But since then, I haven't really delved into researching philosophy properly because life got in the way. And by life, I mean getting a job, making money, and, well, depression. Side note to that, I'm actually planning to do a video where I discuss prior interests of mine resurfacing later in life. All right, back to the topic of the video. As I mentioned before, I'm completely fascinated by philosophy. I just want to read all the literature, consume all the media, research as much as I can, have conversations about it. I'm completely and utterly intrigued. But in saying that, I already have many a philosophical thought that I would like to discuss. Even though I haven't read up on the literature, that's one of the big reasons why I started this YouTube and started writing on Substack. I just want my thoughts to be out there for people to read, or even me to look back on. Then something stopped me. I had these thoughts of, what if the discussions that I have aren't novel? What if many people before me have spoken about this, including ancient philosophers hundreds of years ago? What if I say something and someone out there thinks I'm plagiarizing someone's works, but really I haven't actually seen their works? All of these thoughts circled my mind, and it kind of made me afraid to talk about my thoughts. I had this feeling that I had to study philosophy to actually be adequately able to discuss it, which I don't think that's what philosophy is, but those are the thoughts that I had running through my mind. But then, as is with my mind, I thought of it from a different angle. Even though that the thoughts I'm having have been discussed by many people before me, I didn't know that. I came to these thoughts through my own experience and the content that I have consumed and the conversations that I have had. But I didn't read someone's works and then go, oh yeah, I think that. I had these thoughts not knowing that those thoughts existed. And that's the kicker. That's the interesting part to me. The fact that I can come to these conclusions that another human being has already come to without ever having engaged in their works. That's got to say something about the human experience in general. The fact that I can have a completely different experience as someone else, but we can come to the similar or the same conclusions. For example, do you think a woman in their 20s living in Australia, has had the same life experience as Aristotle hundreds and hundreds of years ago? I'm going to hazard a guess and say no, but some of the things I say, he could have come to the conclusion to those many years ago. And it's just a wild concept to me that that can occur. There's something innate in all of us as humans, and I just think that's intriguing as all hell. And I know, you could just say, well, obviously, we're all humans and we all have a human brain, like it's not revolutionary. And trust me, I have thought about that. Can be as facetious as the next person. But I think you really need to sit back and actually think about the concept to actually get a grasp on it. I'll give you a modern day example. Have you ever done something strange and then had the thought, no one on this planet has ever done this strange thing that I've just done? Only to one day accidentally come across a video online where the very thing that you thought was strange, someone else was talking about it, that they do it. And your mind is blown. You're just in shock that someone else could do something so strange that you thought you were the only one to do, but they're doing it too. But then not only that, you scroll through the comments and all the comments are saying, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one. The common online phrase for this is people commenting, wow, I've never had an original experience. And are people disappointed by this? I mean, perhaps, but also I think mostly they're just fascinated and blown away that other people also do the strange things that they do, because they really thought they were the only one. Now, me being me, I know that the thoughts that I have are more likely than not already have had occurred in someone else. But I don't think that should stop me from talking about them. There are so many darn humans on this planet. Like, do I really think that I'm the only person who's ever had this thought ever? No, it's very unlikely, and I'm aware of that. But to not talk about it because of that reason is just nonsensical to me, and hence why this video exists and more will exist in future. So yes, even if you think that the thoughts and ideas that you have are not original, I don't think it should stop you from discussing them. It's the human condition after all. Thank you for watching. This whole video discussing thoughts that I anticipate that other people have already discussed is also a discussion that someone else has probably already discussed. Sit with that for a bit.